What's up, people? Come y'all do another video, right? And one thing I'm asking the people who are feeling me is don't let the naysayers, the underlings, the fans in the stands come over here and have their thumbs down outpace my thumbs up. Because I always have been a man for the little guy, the underdog. That's always who I have had, you know, the best wishes and best thoughts for. So I'm calling this video right here, breaking down Kevin Samuels, high value man. And understand this, I myself am a high value man. Because number one, no one can define that for me but me. And yes, when I go out into my community, I am respected and treated like that, right? Because I am a college graduate, um, and I did not graduate out of my bedroom on a laptop taking online classes. No disrespect intended. I did graduate from a 4-year university. I have associates who have graduated from four-year university. I have associates who are professors in colleges, who own their own businesses, who are officers in the military, the police department. I know people or affiliated with people who are local officials and things of that nature. So I know what it is to be able to call in favors and have things done for you. But I always have kind of been like a loner because of the fact that I'm always in favor of what's right versus what's popular, um, and giving everyone a fair shake and a fair chance. Um, and I just want you to understand that Kevin Samuels, right? And let me put this out here first, right? That in my videos that I do, I don't make derogatory statements towards people. I don't make derogatory statements in my video towards anyone. So people saying that I'm a hater and all this other nonsense is just foolishness, right? So I'm only putting out the facts to counter their facts. And so with Kevin Samuel, right, he is what you call an elitist. And that's true because elitist is no more than someone who believes that people who have wealth, social status, and who have a high skill set are superior in society. That way always brings up the comparison between the brain surgeon and the homeless person and which one is more valuable and everything. So that's a elitist state of mind saying that wealthy people, people who have high skill sets are more valuable than people with no skill sets or no money and everything. And I disagree with that in a way that it's phrased. I'll say that we as human beings all have value, be it from the richest wealthiest person to the lowest, poorest person, because you're gonna have all kinds in this world, between the highest and the lowest, and no one person is more valuable than another person. Now you do have people who are greater contributors to society than other people. That I will agree with. We all have different talents and stuff like that. But when you start trying to, you know, isolate people and saying, hey, you have no worth or anything like that, then that becomes an issue. So, he is an elitist. He has a elitist mindset, and that's what he represents, right? So I'm going to break down the high value man thing right quick. Not going to be long, right? I'm going to break down real simple, real plain. Number one, high value man is number one is relative and it's subjective. It's relative, right? Because you take someone who has $10,000 a month, right? And he does say that this is the entry level. That's about $120,000 a year, right? So you look at someone who makes $120,000 a year versus someone who makes $100 million a year, or even someone who makes $5 million a year versus someone who makes $100 million a year. The person who makes $100 million a year is not going to see the person who makes 100,000 to $5 million a year as high value. It's relative because they're not going to walk in the same social circles. You may rent a hotel room that's $1,000 a night, and they're renting a hotel room that costs $25,000 a night. You're not in the same league. That's the minor versus the major. So it's relative. The aspect of high value man. You know, um, Number two is subjective because high means a level of elevation. Value means what something is worth to you, how important it is to you, and how meaningful it is to you. Nothing more, nothing less. Man. A man is nothing more than an adult male. So high value man is subjective, and you can rate high value man on whatever social milieu that you come from, whatever social group that you come from. And yes, high value, all those things are geographical. Why are they geographical? We have places like what? Beverly Hills. You have places like the Hamptons, where people who have a high net worth separate themselves from the middle class and from the working class and from the poor. So yes, wealth, social status is geographical, is regional. That's why they build communities like that for themselves. That's why you have a $25,000 a night hotel room, so that people who can't afford that, or who can only afford $1,000 or $5,000 hotel room, can't stay where they're at. It is a difference, So that's why it is subjective as well as relative, depending on who you're speaking with. For me, a high value man is a man of integrity. He's a man of morality. He's a man who takes care of his family. You know, that is high value. That is most valuable to me, and that is a powerful contributor to society. Why is it a powerful contributor to society? Because the man who takes care of his family, who provides for his family, who teaches his family what they need to know, be it the wife or the children, creates stability. What in the community, in their environment. That's why we go into these urban settings where there is no man in the home, and you have these children running around here committing all kinds of crimes and being involved in all sorts of negative activities because there are no men in the homes. So being a man and being a family man and being a good husband is high value because it contributes to society. It contributes to the whole and everything. So that is high value. So it's a subjective conversation. There are really no rights or wrongs concerning that. We just have to be careful with how we are measuring people's worth. That can turn into a really negative thing, and that's my only concern. And so that's why I had to really put this video out here and stuff. But like I said, make sure, man, that y'all are thumbing up this video, man. And like I say, I used to be at work, right, as a supervisor. And I walk around, whatever. I have my shrine jacket on and stuff. Make sure everything is running properly, whatever. Giving directions, following up on my direction, make sure that my direction was being followed through, right. So it was me, a couple other people, whatever, who were walking around and stuff, and there was like some trash on the floor. And so I went and swept the trash up and dumped it. And so we went up into the office and stuff like, well, you're not supposed to be touching anything. That's not what you're here for. I said, well, yeah. I said, well, my people were busy, so why take them off of something that they need to be doing when I can just do it myself right quick? And that elitist mindset that I'm telling you about, you shouldn't touch anything. Just start them from what they're doing and then have them do it for you. I just wasn't feeling that. It's kind of like a snowball effect because my boss, my supervisor, whatever, would do that to me. Like I'm over here trying to take care of something. Hey, come over here, and I need you to do such. I'm like, man, I'm over here trying to take care of that, and it's something simple like do it yourself. Get somebody else over there to do it. But that is how things work and stuff like that, right? That's one reason why a lot of companies and stuff don't like unions, because unions alleviate that because you're only allowed to do what is in your job description. You can't do anything else outside of that. But that's another topic. That's another topic, right? But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring that video to y'all, man. And you can't change your environment. It takes some work, it takes some time and stuff like that. But really, his whole conversation is just classism. I'll give you another example, right? Here I am. I'm a supervisor. I'm college educated, right? And so this is back in the early 2000s when everybody was saying, I'm going to school, I'm going back to school. So like, yeah, whatever. Okay, right. So young fella, right? I was a manager in retail, largest retailer in the world, right? So this young guy, right? He was a cart pusher. Understand what I'm saying? So he pushed cars for a living. He said, "Man, I'm going back to school to be a pharmacist." Oh, okay, cool. Kind of geeky guy and stuff. Um, but he came to work every day on time. He pushed those cars. He did a good job. You know, and then next thing I know, one day he said, "I got my pharmacy license, and I've been hired to be a pharmacist for the company." He bought him a house. He bought him a sports car, and he gave him a bad girlfriend. Fine thing. See what I'm saying? And he's doing very well for himself. So he was under my supervision in one of the lowliest positions there is, a cart pusher. See what I'm saying? He out there in the cold, the rain, the heat, doing this. And he put forth the effort through education and school and getting a certain skill set, which prepared him financially above my status. He was under me. So you can do it. So again, he's looking at, what kind of like I just like to bring back, the fact that what I'm speaking of, right? But so he's looking at, again, how much you have, your wealth, what your social circle is, and what your skill set is. So if you have a high skill set, then hey, you can do what the average person can't do. Anybody, for the most part, well, let me backtrack off that. Right, they say anybody can be a janitor, but that's not but that is not necessarily so, because being a janitor and knowing how to strip and wax floors is a skill set. You go into a J.C. Penney's or you go into some kind of government building, those floors are sparkling. That is a certain kind of skill set that everybody cannot do. It's just not a respected skill set. Because you don't necessarily have to have your floors buffed and waxed, but it does give a certain kind of appearance. Where it's like somebody who's a brain surgeon. You want people to live who have things going on with their brain, then you have to have a brain surgeon, and they're actually saving lives. But that doesn't negate the fact that both of them are human beings and both of them have value in and of itself. You know, and I don't think he's saying that that's not the case. Um, but a lot of times he kind of gets on it where it kind of makes it sounds like that. And that's why I'm here just to bring some understanding to the mindset, the train of thought. If you want to understand more about how he thinks and those people like him, there's a movie I want you to watch. It is called um, America's Ruling Class. You can find it here on YouTube. You can rent it. It is a good movie documentary, and it will give you a better understanding of where he's coming from. So man, I hope that was some good information for you guys, man. I'm going back to the lab, but I had to put that out there. All right, peace.